Hey, it's Ryder Stouch, founder and CEO here at Thrive Courses, and I am back with another video where they are today with Nick Lamb. Nick Lamb created his course about 4.5, 5 years ago, Nick?
Coming up on 5 years, yep.
5 years. So it's the sleep and recovery course. And actually, when he started this course, like sleep was the crazy hype, but you just happened to talk about it and be into that. So I have a couple questions if you don't mind. Number one, that was about 5 years ago. Remind me, like, what made you decide to go with Thrive when it comes to packaging your knowledge into digital product?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, I was really at this crucial point where I had this significant amount of interest from the fitness industry, which is my background. And sleep was really reaching the pinnacle of interest, and so many people struggling, and nobody had really created a coaching course in the way that I ultimately put it together. And so I was very much feeling the pressure to create it, and not only the pressure to create it, but really to do it well. To have it be, if we're going to be first to market with this and we're going to have it out there, have it be as exceptional as possible.
Yeah.
And all of those things, as I was just figuring out the content itself and how I was going to structure it, it was just overwhelming. And so landing on Thrive and ultimately making the decision to work with Thrive was just for me to have the ability to just focus on what I do well, to just focus on, okay, here's the content, here's what I need to include in there, and really not have to give much thought to anything else.
Like how to package it and all of that.
How to package it and how to figure out how to have the production value be where I wanted it to be, and editing of the course and all of those moving pieces that I just didn't have any clue about, and honestly just didn't necessarily want to have to figure out, because there was this mad rush to try and get the course
the message out as quickly as you can. You're leveraging that. No, absolutely. I mean, some topics are more hot than others, right? But definitely getting out to the marketplace is always a smart thing, because I always say the longer you wait, the more competition will be there. And
I also find, and just with so many other people, and this, I think this was a part of it for myself as well, where even if it's not something that you're necessarily trying to be first to market with, ideas and the drive behind them can also be fleeting. And so if you're in a point where you really have things aligned and connected, and you want to do this, and it's the time for you to do it, having something that really allows you to put it together in the right way, where you can just do it, and you don't allow the next wave of something to happen in your life personally or professionally that ultimately becomes putting this on the back burner again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good one. It's like what the emotions, what the iron is hot, strike, right? I love that. So, people often ask me when they consider working with Thrive, it's like, it's like, how are the clients doing right now? And I think that you are a very unique case study, because, I mean, you've done so many different things. I've been very grateful to become a friend of yours. We've been in touch over the years, and I've seen, how this course that you created, a sleep and recovery course and coaching program that you created, how that has impacted your business 5 years later.
It's been absolutely massive. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of angles to where it's been beneficial. Of course, there's always we've sold a lot of students that have ultimately joined the course. And so monetarily, there's always been this consistent stream and consistent middle tier option of everything that we do that has been there. But I would say where it's provided even more benefit has been in the sleep space. It has basically positioned and provided me with a lot more authority and influence that led to, for example, hosting virtual events. It's led to me being on advisory boards. It's led to licensing deals. It's led to other things because of the perception. Of course, the content's got to be good. You have to know what you're doing and know what you're talking about, but the authority and influence that is created by being associated with it, by having that there as capital, so to speak, has really provided and opened a lot of doors. And it's even directly and somewhat indirectly led into this next rendition of what I've been focusing on over the last couple of years, which has been public speaking, where having the course and having this vehicle of what was attached to the course, it allowed me to speak at well over 100 fitness events and even non-fitness events, which really just allowed me to perfect public speaking and allowed me to dig my feet into the world of public speaking and be able to teach others to public speak, which obviously was not something looking back 5 years where, okay, I'm going to create a sleep and recovery coaching course and then ultimately end up teaching public speaking skills. But that has been the more indirect benefits that have come as a result. for
I
sure.
love that you share that, because sometimes I think people put too much pressure on, like, well, I really like this, but I can't see myself doing it for the rest of my life. And it's like, you don't have
You
to. I
won't.
mean, this is
You
right
won't.
now what you want to create. This is what you're passionate about, you're knowledgeable. Lean in and see where it takes. And in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, in your case, you can pivot and change. And that's the thing about this business. It's okay to change and pivot. And even in your situation, what's so unique, I hope you don't mind if I'm sharing this.
Of course.
You are in talks with 2 companies potentially selling your course off, right? So you can move on to your next chapter.
Exactly. Yes, I am at that point where the course has been great, and I've enjoyed doing all the things necessary to push it and attach to it. But in that same vein of not being stuck in one particular thing forever, I knew I did not want to be the sleep guy forever. I knew there was a ceiling there, and I feel like I'm approaching that ceiling, and now there's a proof of concept and system, and plenty of students that have gone through the course and had a great result. And so now it is in a place where acquisition of the course for a lump sum, and knowing also that the course is then going to live on, which I think is really, really cool. Of even if I know I'm not going to be able to have as much focus and be doing it as much, it doesn't have to just have no reach at all. It's going to live on. It's going to continue to have more students go through it. It's going to continue to have impact, which I think is a really cool part of something like that as well.
I love it. I love it. What would you say before we wrap up? What would be, 2, 3 things that you would say to somebody who is sitting on the sidelines and thinking like, man, I want to create a course, but 5 things that stop them, whether, the investment time, is there a market for them? What would you say to somebody?
I would say just take the leap and take those initial action steps. I talk about this all the time within public speaking, and I think course creation, content creation, it is very similar, and there's a lot of parallels. There is never going to be a perfect or ideal or optimal time professionally, personally, where things are perfectly aligned. But if you know it's something that you do have a level of fire for, I think that's one of the other pieces. Again, when I talk about public speaking, how much people end up creating content around, spending time with, doing things that they just don't have real fire and passion for, and it's really not going to serve the impact that they want to have. So if you have that thing, even if it's 10% flushed out in your head, work with someone like Thrive who's going to help you package it together in the right way and help you get the remaining percentage. But having something like that is exceptionally rare, and you ultimately never know the doors that it's going to open for you. So
Well, Nick, I want to say thank you so much for being here. My goal with these videos is just really give the perspective of other people who've been there, who thought of the same things that you thought. And what I would always like to say, it's like, you just don't know how and where this course is going to lead you and your business. Because similar in my case, what is now 13, 14 years ago that I created a fitness program, opened so many doors for me, gave me just like this springboard to other things. And you just don't know where it's going to lead, and don't put yourself that pressure. It might be something that you do for the next 10 years, 20 years. It could be something that you create and promote heavily for 3, 4 years, and then you wrap it up and move on to something else. The best part, once the course is created, there's not that much ongoing investment, like rental space or anything like that. You just you cancel your.
Could be something that you just create and spend the time creating, and you're ultimately creating it for it to be acquired or utilized by someone else, and you're the one to create it, and it will always be that you're the one to create it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Nick, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you do want to have a conversation with our team, how we could potentially help you write, produce, and launch, as always, click the link somewhere on this page, and we hope to help you turn this idea into reality.